Hello, my minks and minxes. As you can see from the title, in this video I'm going to talk about COVID-2019 virus, losing job and income, quarantine, and plans for the future. So let's start. So today is April 9th of 2020. I'm guessing because right now I have 3 subscribers. By the time you watch this or listen to this, it's going to be like 30 years in the future. So what is COVID-2019? Now, COVID is a virus that was transferred from animal to human. It's nothing rare, it happens all the time, but the problem with COVID is that we do not have medicine for it, we do not have cure, and it is very contagious. That's the problem. Now, that's one of the problems. Another problem with the coronavirus is that it's 2020 and people today are more, how to say, they care more about their freedom, but they don't understand that sometimes being locked up is also freedom. That's the problem here. And when it comes to this virus, and probably you're going to study this in like history books or something, the reason why this virus is problematic is because a lot of things that is supposed to be normal, people do not do. So if you look or search for things that you need to do when you have, if you want to prevent, so let's see, coronavirus prevention. I'm just going to show you. I will tell you. So prevention, stay home as much as you can. Okay, that is something that we don't do on a regular basis. Keep a safe distance. Now, wash hands often. Okay, so number 3 is, this is where I stop. Okay, so we're supposed to wash our hands even without virus, even in normal life. So why is that something extra? Cover your cough. So that's also something you're supposed to already be doing without this pandemic thing around the world. And then if you are sick, call ahead. If you have flu, if you have anything that is contagious, doesn't have to be COVID, it can be flu, it can be cold, it can be anything, you're supposed to protect others from transferring your virus to them and making other people sick. That's just normal behavior. And the biggest problem I have with this virus is that people are acting now the way they're supposed to be acting all the time. When it comes to 60% of things that you need to do in order to be safe, it's from those 60%, 100% of those things you're supposed to do every day. You're supposed to take care. You're supposed to, when you go to the grocery store, you're not supposed to cough all over the place. You're not supposed to take bakery products with your food, with your hands and touch them and then put them back and pick another one. And when I look back, I mean, I've seen people who take bread and they drop it on the floor by accident. Okay, nothing wrong with that, but they put it back on a shelf and they put it back and they take another one. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just put it in the garbage. Don't put it back on the shelf. And then there was this lady with a child, like child was 5-6 years old, and she was in a fruit area. Now, are we going to wash our fruit? That's okay. Of course, you're going to wash the fruit when you purchase them, but the child was coughing, like she's holding him by her hand and by his hand, and they're walking and he's coughing all over the place. He's not covering his mouth, he's not doing anything. And and if you tell something to that person, she's like, oh, but I don't have a virus. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not telling you to cover your mouth when you're coughing because of coronavirus. I'm not telling you to wash your hands because of coronavirus. I'm not telling you to protect yourself because of coronavirus. That is something that you're supposed to do as a normal human being. I was in a drugstore a couple of weeks ago when coronavirus was not at this level as it is today, and as I was leaving, I noticed there is blood on the door handle. Blood. I went back and I said, okay, there's a blood. And this guy was, oh, we're going to die now, we're going to get virus and die. And I'm like, okay, are you born yesterday? You think coronavirus is the only virus that exists in this world? That's just corona and let it go? And I was like, okay. And then I said, okay, do you know how to read? Do you know? And he said, no, I don't have a college degree. Okay, but doesn't matter. I mean, you understand that you have AIDS and HIV and all kinds of other things that are transmitted through blood. I mean, and then he said, maybe it's a nail polish. And I'm like, what? Yes, there are women or men going around this world with red nail polish and they are rubbing it on drugstores' handles. Yes, that is normal conclusion. And then the lady that works there went to clean the handle, and when she was cleaning the handle, she said, yes, you're right, this is blood. And she was shocked. I was like, okay. And I just went outside, and this was like, I'm telling you, this was before coronavirus was like, okay, everybody staying home, quarantine, business shut down. And people are acting like, oh, they're going to die, not me. They are having problem, not us. And the problem here is, who are they? They are human and you are human, so them is you. But anyhow, let's see the situation on the news.
But the big picture for us is still very bad. I mean, the story overall of coronavirus in the world now remains the massive size of America's epidemic, the national level federal failure of the U.S. to handle this responsibly, and the way it has therefore run away with us as a country. There are currently more than 425,000 cases in the United States. That's bigger than the other three largest epidemics on Earth combined.
Okay, so let's pause here. So total cases over 400,000, total death over 14, and that is for United States as of April 8, 2020. Now, the overall number, if we check the world, is 1,500,000, 89,000, and almost 90,000 deaths. So that's the current situation on this day, the day I'm recording this. Now, the problem that people are saying here, so what she's going to continue here, and most of the videos today, because of the Trump and all the stuff that is happening with him giving his reports every now and then, and his opinions as United States president and all, is like, oh, you did this too late, you're supposed to do this earlier, you're supposed to do this. I mean, if there's a virus, okay, I don't know, I can't even, I mean, if there is a virus, no matter where it is, you should be more precaution about it. I mean, you don't just, this is something that I teach in school. If something happens in China or in Russia or in the United States, because I'm in Europe, you look at that from the point of view, if it happened to them, it can happen to me, and I'm going to learn from them. I'm not going to wait for that particular thing to happen to me, because I'm human being, he's human being. If it happened to him, it can happen to me, and let's learn from our mistakes. Let's learn from other people situations. Now, the virus was spreading, and it's going to continue to spread because You cannot control people. That's the problem. The virus is a lesser problem than the humans are. If you have 10 people obeying the rule, and then you have just one guy licking toilets or whatever, of course that virus is going to spread. You cannot stop humans from spreading. You can stop virus from spreading, but you cannot stop humans from spreading, because every now and then you have like earth is flat. Yes, the virus is not going to reach me, and that is the reason why this is going further and further and further. Now, if I want to go back to what I said, freedom, the proper solution to this problem would be that right now you lock everybody, absolutely everybody. You just shut them down wherever they are, lock them. They don't get to return home, they don't get to leave home, no matter whether if they are in home, they stay home, and you keep it like that for 7 days. And after 7 days, problem solved. But we cannot do that because there are people currently with the virus and they need to get medical treatment. And in order to get medical treatment, doctors need to come to the hospital, and then doctors gets the disease, gets the virus, and they spread it to their home because it takes 2 weeks to get symptoms, you know. So it's a never-ending circle or loop. Now, I don't know, did I say this at the beginning? This is my opinion. Everything I say here is my opinion. Now, if I continue on this video, or if we go here, we can see that over 7 million people in the United States lost their jobs. So just United States, 7 million people. And I'm also one of them. I'm not from the United States, but I lost my job, and probably 300,000 or 100,000, something like that, in my country lost their job because of coronavirus. And how are we going to recover from that? I don't know. That's something I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But the fact is, we lost our jobs, and by losing job, we lost income. But the trick here is the bills continue to come. And now the part of the issue is that we are in quarantine. Now, it's an issue, but it's also a slight solution to that problem of losing job and losing income. Because we are in quarantine now, we have this opportunity, now depending on our circumstances, of course, we have this opportunity to actually sit down, relax, take a deep breath, take a pen and paper, pencil and paper, or tablet or laptop or whatever you want, and make some plans, make some drafts, put it on a paper, how much money you need per month. At the beginning, you just put the amount you need to survive, and by that I mean to pay bills and to pay for food. So that's it. That's a bare minimum survival, and then you can go a little bit extra above that for some unexpected circumstances. Now, when you have that amount, you need to write down all possible options how you can get that money, how you can earn that money from quarantine, or the moment when quarantine stops and you get back to business, or you return to your own business or whatever, because it's going to take time for businesses to recover. And once you have that, focus on those that you can actually do from home, because in this situation, because of this coronavirus, I mean, yes, they closed down, they put everybody in quarantine, but even if they open things up, they're not going to open it because coronavirus is solved. They're just going to open it because from the economic point of view, they cannot be closed. Countries cannot be closed for longer than 3 months. After 3 months, everybody will be so into minus that it will be impossible to recover. So maximum you can stay closed down as a company, as a business, as a government is 3 months, and that is only if you have a backup. But if you don't have backup, every single day that you are in quarantine, every single day that people are not working, companies are not working, you are getting yourself deeper and deeper in the problems. So they're going to open things, they're going to start the economy again, but they will not do it because Corona is solved. They're going to do it just because they need to have some income, they need to have some money coming in and coming out. And because of that, even if they start the economy back, it will be good for you to stay in quarantine. So unless you have no money whatsoever, then you have to go outside. But if you do have some savings, something that will keep you going for next 2 or 3 months, what I'm going to do, as that is my suggestion, is stay home, protect yourself, and try to improve your skills or obtain new skills. So that is the plan for future, and that is what I'm doing. So I know that wherever you are listening to this and you look at my first videos, including this one, they look like, I mean, they're borderline boring, trying to be entertaining, but actually the real reason I'm doing these videos is because of the freedom. I can do them freely and I can take them as a joke, as entertainment, but actually I'm learning from them. I'm learning how to draw in Adobe Illustrator. I'm learning it. I want to become more professional when it comes to that, and I'm taking this funny haha approach to that. But actually it's a funny haha for you if you are watching it, but for me it's like I'm learning. Even when I'm doing it as a joke, I'm learning. And editing of the videos, now this is something that I will need the moment my business is good to restart and quarantine is stopped and countries open up, the planes starts to fly again and everything starts to get back to normal. But so I'm using this quarantine time to actually educate myself, and that will be my suggestion. Every time when you have some free time for yourself, of course you can do something fun, just fun. But if you have option to do something that is fun for you and interesting, but it's also going to be educational. So for example, one of my last drawing was Decepticon. So it was fun for me to do that, but it is still drawing in vector. So I'm still practicing actual drawing in vector. So fun combined with education, learning new skills, obtaining new skills. So that is how I'm coping with this. Now the real reason why I'm recording this is this morning I found out one of my friends has coronavirus and it's confirmed now, and he's in hospital. And I don't know what to say. Of course I'm petrified, I'm scared, and I'm thinking he's in this situation, and 1,500,000 people around the world are in the same situation as he is right now. And the real problem is people are not going to learn anything from this situation. The moment we have a cure or vaccine or whatever you want to say for this virus, people are going to stop caring about it. They're going to treat it just like they treat the flu. It will be just like another disease. And one of the reasons why I'm mentioning flu here is people say, okay, coronavirus is more dangerous than the flu, because there are some people who are saying it's just the flu, it's similar as the flu. But in reality, coronavirus is not the same as the flu, because we do not have, at this moment, we do not have cure for it. We do not have vaccine for it. We do not have proper procedure how to handle person with that. But if we look, for example, on internet, that's by flu 2020, how many people died? Let's see, do we have it here? So in 63,000 deaths caused by flu. Now, of course, if we go back to COVID. COVID at this time is at 89,000. So that is not close, but the numbers are very high. And it's a disease that also killing people, but it's not marketing, doesn't have the marketing as coronavirus. Now you have these newspapers telling you if you scroll up and down on the newspaper, don't panic, behave normally, wash your hands, take care of yourself, and then you scroll down a couple of pages and you're what to buy toilet paper, buy food, we're going to be locked down for 30 years, and you have that. It's it's a clickbait. Every single page now around the world of the news reports, 60% or sometimes 100% of entire web page or entire newspapers is just pure clickbait. Look at me, watch me, read me, panic and read me, don't panic and read me, just read me. And all that stress and confusion, I mean, if you look at this, I mean, I have to check this. So panic COVID 2019. So this is the situation that we have around the world. So we have people panic buying toilet paper and flour and meat, and I mean, where are you going to put all this? Okay, toilet paper, I get it. You can have like, you can put it in your basement. But what are you going to do with all the meat, all these things that have expiration date, that they need to be preserved in specific conditions? I don't know. I don't know. The world is crazy, and I even don't know what I'm saying anymore. But let's just finish, because COVID virus is serious virus, but it's not dangerous virus. Now, what do I mean when I say it's not dangerous? For me, a dangerous virus would be a virus that if you get it, you die. That's it. There's no possible, no way, not even decade or 10 years or 100 years that there's a cure for that. So you get it, you die. COVID is not like that. COVID, you can survive, you can get it, you have symptoms, and then you recover from it. So it's not serious on that level. The big problem with COVID is like I said, we do not have cure for it, we do not have proper procedure for it, and we have plenty of people getting sick at the same time, and that is causing stress to our hospital capabilities and capacities. Now, this will happen in the same manner if, let's say, the same amount of people right now having COVID, if they had flu, you will have exactly the same situation. And I'm talking serious cases of flu. So it's not the coronavirus that is problematic. It's problematic that a lot of people is getting sick at the same time, and there is no capacity when it comes to medicines and doctors who can handle that kind of amount. So basically, we are not here trying to prevent COVID as a virus. You have viruses around the world all the time. Sometimes they make that leap from animal to human. In most cases they do not. This one transferred, this one skipped, this one make that leap from animal to human. It is happening around the world, but the epidemic that is a result of that, and human behavior that is a result of that, is just insane. And the biggest problem is that we're not going to learn anything from it. We're not going to learn anything from it. The moment when the government says, okay, finished, go back to normal, everything is fine. If you get corona today, it's okay. We'll just put you in the bag and problem solved. and people are not going to learn. I mean, when I go to the store right now, I feel more comfortable than before because people are obeying the rules. They are not touching everything. They are not coughing on everything. They are not eating an apple and putting it back, eating a piece of bread and putting it back. And I've seen that. And I'm looking from the side and I say, this is how we're supposed to behave. Not to this level of extreme that we wear gloves and mask, but if you are sick, for example, you have a flu, stay home. And if you have to leave, wear a mask. Nobody in my country ever wore mask for anything. Now we are getting that, okay, now I wear mask as a thing, but you're supposed to wear mask if you are sick, if you have something that is virus, something that is contagious. And I'm scared that after this is finished, people are going to take that freedom of, okay, now I have a flu, it's not a virus, it's not corona, I can go outside without a mask, I can do whatever I want because I do not have COVID. I have something else. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There are certain ways how you're supposed to behave in certain times, in certain situations of your life. You don't cough on food, you don't lick the food and put it back, you don't drink from the bottles and put it back on the shelf. That is just not something you do. Okay, so I don't know. I want to say something, but anyway, this, if I actually upload this is going to be my second video in this series on PODMINX. And let's just end it there. If you have your own opinion regarding coronavirus, if you lost a job, I'm so sorry. I hope you get back into business very soon. I hope that during this quarantine you learn something new, that you obtain some skills, or that you, if you worked for every day most of your life, as me, that you're going to rest. Me, I worked every day for most of my life, so basically when I work, it's actually resting for me. I know it sounds strange, but the first day of my quarantine, I went on YouTube and I searched for movies and videos and stuff like that, and then I actually watched a documentary about black holes, and that was good. But the next day I wanted to work. Next day I just, okay, I cannot just sit and watch TV, I have to do something. So basically my life in quarantine is now, I have one monitor where I watch with my one eye, I watch YouTube, listen YouTube, and on my second and third monitor I'm actually doing something, I'm working something, I'm preparing something. And that is something that I find interesting. That is something that I find fun. If you have something that is fun for you, I suggest that you actually do it. Don't waste your time. Try to also be productive as much as you can. Try to, like I said, make some plan, make some ideas. Don't be too strict about it. Don't be too strict about it. You are in quarantine, but also don't be too loose. Try to focus, because this virus has to pass. I mean, quarantine will end eventually. It has to end sometimes. Like I said, most governments around the world, they cannot survive this lockdown for more than 3 months. So in next 1 month or 2 months, my country and your country and every country around the world will be out of this lockdown, and we need to be ready for that. We need to be prepared for that. We need to understand that it will take time, and we need to understand that our way of buying and spending is going to be different for a certain period of times, and unless of course you are extremely rich, what most of us isn't. So okay, anyway, let's stop this. Thank you for listening, wherever you are listening to this. Sorry for maybe wasting 30 minutes of your time. Please, as always, Stay healthy, stay safe, be happy, and take care of yourself.